Hi, I'm Amelia Ceja, and recently we just shipped our Ceja Fantastic Cabernet Sauvignon to our wine club members. And I want to share a very easy recipe that you can make use of that Cabernet Sauvignon. It'll be a pan-sear filet mignon and served with a reduction spicy Cabernet sauce that has mushrooms and shallots. So I'm going to show you how to make it. The pan is already pretty hot, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil as well as a tablespoon of butter. And immediately, well, once gets all melted, I will add a couple of cloves of garlic, as well as a couple of chile Japoneses, and a little sprig of fresh romero, which is romero. I will remember the translation. Now it's pretty hot, and now I'm going to pan-sear this steak for approximately a minute or a little bit over a minute per side. And make sure that they're in contact with the melted butter as well as the olive oil, because you want to make sure that you're able to lift them up when you turn them over. I like this recipe because it makes use of rosemary, which I actually picked from the garden, and as well as the spice component that I love in food. And after these are cooked, I'm going to put them in the oven for about whatever time it takes to make the reduction sauce. And make sure, once again, that you get all the melted oil and butter pretty much throughout the pan. And I'm going to take a peek and see what they look like. So see, oh, they're beautifully browning, but they still need about 30 more seconds. But no worries, for those of you who like your steaks done a little bit less red, you can always put them in the oven for, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes at about 225 degrees, and they'll be perfect the way you want them. So, and you can also move the garlic a little bit and to expose the entire, all the steak to the flavors. But the chiles are going to add this sort of smoky, subtle spice component, but it's not going to be hot. It's just like very flavorful and layers of flavor, just like fine wine. And these are about ready to be turned. And especially this one, which is a little bit smaller. And let's see. Oh, it's beautifully seared. And I'm going to do, you typically should turn the ones that are thinner, because they take a little bit less to cook. And I had a few pieces after I trimmed the fat of the steak, so I added in here because then I'm going to try them. I want to make sure that the steaks are perfect when I take them off the pan. Oh, they look gorgeous. That's exactly what you want to have, that sort of caramelization on the top, which sears, and actually the steaks become really moist if they're seared at a very high heat. And look at this little garlic. They're also actually going to be really good even just to try them. These steaks are perfectly seared. Look at that. Now I'm going to stick them in the oven while I make the Cabernet reduction sauce. And they will continue cooking for a bit, but it's a pretty low temperature. I have it at 175 degrees. The steaks are in the oven, and I'm going to show you how to make the Cabernet reduction sauce. So we already have the drippings from the seared steak. So the first thing we're going to do is actually add the shallots, which are 2 minced shallots, and just until they're pretty much translucent. So it's going to be very quickly because the pan is hot. Oh, but the smell is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to taste this. Now I'm going to add as well the mushrooms. which I have 10 ounces because I love mushrooms. And I always love extra sauce. I even like it by itself. And also I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, because you want those flavors right away, to build those flavors. And I'm going to cook them until, for a minute or so, a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to add some of the, I have some broth, some beef broth. And the very last thing, I'm going to reduce. I'm going to add a cup of the beef broth, which I'll reduce to about half a cup. And then I will add the Cabernet and just cook it for about 30 seconds and it's done. But all the flavors from the from searing the steaks are captured in this pan, and now they're being transferred to these awesome mushrooms. And see, they're browning right now. Oh, look at these mushrooms. They look perfect. Now I'm going to add the cup of beef broth, and I'm going to reduce this to about a half a cup, and then I'm going to add the Cabernet sauce. So this is almost done. As you can see, this is a dish that you can pretty much prepare every day. Oh, and see how all of the niceness that was stuck to the bottom of the pan, now it's in the sauce. And it'll have a subtle spice component, and I'm gonna give it a lot more heat so that a lot of the water evaporates and the sauce is reduced to about a half a cup. Look at this sauce, it's perfect. I tasted it a little bit and it needs a little bit more salt. And now it's ready I'm going to add the Cabernet Sauvignon. And I'm only going to add roughly about a quarter of a cup, and I'm going to reduce it a little bit more, and then it's done. And that's about a quarter of a cup. And make sure you try it when you see this recipe, because it really will impress, most importantly, your taste buds, but your family and your friends. It is one of the easiest ways to prepare a piece of wonderful steak and serve it that it's not so boring. This adds so much flavor, earthiness, and it'll marry beautifully well with the Cabernet Sauvignon. The steak is done, and I've already put some of the yummy sauce on the plate, as well as the steak. Now I'm going to add a little bit more on top and garnish it with a twig from my garden, a rosemary twig. And I can't wait to dig in. It smells so good, and most importantly, I love it with our Cabernet. We have two flavors that marry so well with each other, and the mushrooms brought a little bit of earthiness, and the rosemary just built another layer of flavor. And this obviously is going to pair beautifully well with our Cabernet Sauvignon. I can't wait to try it, so thanks for watching. Until next time, salud.